East Nashville has become one of the most popular areas in Nashville in recent years due to its revitalization of its neighborhoods and businesses. The area has a different vibe about it, with most businesses locally owned, many cool bars and restaurants, and lots of nightlife. It's also home to the Five Points area, known for its nightlife and live music scene. Today, I'm going to talk about the best neighborhoods in East Nashville. I'm qualified because I live here in East Nashville. Stick around till the end. You don't want to miss any of the info on these great neighborhoods. Hello, I'm Wade Price with the Living Tennessee team brokered by eXp Realty. I make these videos every 2 weeks about different topics related to living in Nashville, Tennessee. Go ahead and hit the subscribe and the like button now so you won't miss anything. And please leave comments. I love to hear what you had to say. And if you're considering a move to Nashville, we absolutely love helping people find their new home and relocate to Nashville. Call or text me 615-436-5995 and let's talk about it. Or email me at wade@livingtn.com. As I said, I'm about to cover the best neighborhoods in East Nashville, so let's get to it right now. First neighborhood I'm going to cover is historic Edgefield. It's an absolutely beautiful old neighborhood and the closest neighborhood in East Nashville to downtown. First, a little bit of history. Edgefield was established as an independent city in 1869. In 1880, it became part of the city of Nashville. To me, it's one of the most authentic and awesome neighborhoods in all of Nashville. It has tree-lined streets with gorgeous Victorian homes. There are sidewalks on every street, and walkability in this neighborhood is great. One of the places worth walking to is East Park, with huge trees and wide open spaces for kids and pets. The park is used for events, weekly outdoor yoga sessions, much more. You see people out every day. The turnip truck's right across the street. It's a local popular grocer, and it's within walking distance to anyone in Edgefield. And restaurants, Five Points, if you hadn't heard of it, has many bars, restaurants, live music, a lot of nightlife. The young people love it. The Treehouse restaurant in Five Points is a well-kept secret to the locals. And also Five Points Pizza is the best in town, hands down. Edgefield is pretty expensive because of its proximity to downtown and its historical charm. But once you see it, it might just become your dream neighborhood. Next up is Englewood. Englewood is the largest neighborhood in East Nashville. The first homes here were built around 1900 and has a large geographical footprint, bordered on the east by the Cumberland River and on the west by Gallatin Avenue. Because it's so big, there's a lot of diversity in the type of homes you see here. You'll see a little bit of everything: Victorian, ranch, bungalows. It's even home to historic Riverwood Mansion, a 10,000 square foot home that dates back to the 1790s. Today it hosts events like weddings and fundraisers. The yards in Englewood tend to be a little larger than some of the other East Nashville neighborhoods, giving it a suburban feel. It's also still close enough to the action that East Nashville has to offer. It's still only 15 minutes from downtown, and the homes here are more affordable than the neighborhoods closer to downtown. There's some great coffee shops and restaurants out here, like Doe's Coffee Shop and Mitchell's Delicatessen. Mitchell's has the best subs in the area. From Englewood, there's also access to the Shelby Bottoms Greenway with miles of walking and biking trails. It feels like you're a long way from downtown with the feel of suburbia, but you could be in the middle of downtown action in minutes. Next up, Lockton Springs, one of my favorites. I live in a neighborhood next to Lockton Springs, so I spend a lot of time running and biking through this neighborhood to get to Shelby Park. First, a little bit of history. Lockton Springs is a historic turn-of-the-century streetcar suburb 2 miles northeast of downtown Nashville. First house in the area was a log cabin built by Daniel Williams on the site where Lockton School now sits. The land was granted to Mr. Williams by the state of North Carolina for service in the Revolutionary War. Lockton Springs became part of the city of Nashville in 1905. It's made up of Victorian homes and bungalows, many built in the early 1900s. And as I said earlier, it's a great neighborhood for walkability with sidewalks on almost all streets and bike lanes that lead you safely to Shelby Park and the Greenway. Lockton Springs actually borders Shelby Park. And if you like golf, Shelby Golf Course, an old golf course built in the 1920s, is within walking distance to anyone in the neighborhood. Lockton also borders the Five Points area on the opposite side from Edgefield, so it has access to the same great bars, restaurants, and nightlife. One of the most popular bars in the area, Rosemary, is in Lockton Springs. It's one of my son's favorites. And Lockton Tables is one of the finest restaurants in the area and it just fits in with the neighborhood. The Frothy Monkey is a favorite coffee shop located right in the middle of Lockton Springs. Oh yeah, one of the city's oldest fire stations is located in Lockton Springs on Holly Street. It had some damage from the 2020 tornado, as did much of Holly Street, but it's been restored and there's been a lot of new houses built on that street also. This area can be expensive, Lockton Springs, but it's worth it to the people that love that real local neighborhood feel. It's hard to describe, you just have to experience it. Lots of families with small children call this neighborhood home, but also young professionals and retirees that have been here for years. Next up, Eastwood is one of East Nashville's best kept secrets. It has similar home styles to some of the older East Nashville neighborhoods, but has larger yards and not near the traffic. Still only 10 minutes from downtown, it's a great location. Eastwood is a very active outdoor neighborhood with joggers and bikers always out. Eastland Avenue, the main street going through Eastwood, has bike lanes for safety and convenience. Eastwood has a very cool commercial block with great restaurants like Rose Pepper, my favorite Mexican restaurant, and coffee shops like Ugly Mug and Portland Brew. And wow, there's Jenny's Ice Cream, you can't beat it. Five Daughters Bakery is awesome, and much more. You can do it all in one location without leaving the neighborhood. As I said earlier, there are homes similar to the older East Nashville neighborhoods, but there's also some ranch style homes here too, with bigger yards. If you want the feel of being out of the city, but still be only minutes away, this may be the neighborhood for you. The last neighborhood to cover is Maxwell Heights, my home neighborhood for the last 2 years. The first homes were built in Maxwell Heights in the late 1800s and early 1900s on land owned by the Shelby family. It sits on the west side of Gallatin Avenue across from Lockton Springs, the neighborhood we talked about earlier. Most of the homes are craftsman and bungalow style homes. Some of the older homes are being torn down and replaced, and the new homes are for the most part matching the style of the old neighborhood, which I really like. Our house is a new house, but it fits in well with the older homes on our street. Like almost all of East Nashville areas, it's very walkable, which is one of the main reasons we chose this neighborhood. My son's in a wheelchair, and because Maxwell Heights is convenient to so many things, he can easily go to restaurants and shopping areas by sidewalk. Speaking of restaurants, 1 block from our house, there are 4 at the intersection of McFerrin and West Eastland. Mas Tacos, voted the city's best tacos. Pharmacy Burger, one of the most popular burger places in Nashville. Lyra, a popular place with great modern Middle Eastern cuisine, and Spicy Boys, serving New Orleans-style Cajun and Creole dishes. I've visited all 4, and they are all affordable and all have great food. If you're looking for a neighborhood with convenience to everything, this is one you might want to check out. Well, that wraps it up for the East Nashville neighborhoods. I didn't cover every neighborhood in East Nashville, but I covered the majority of the area. I hope this was somewhat informative for you and it gave you more of a feel for each neighborhood. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like so you don't miss a video. And if you want more detailed info like incomes, average price and rent and whatnot, text me or call me at 615-436-5995. I love to talk about the Nashville area, and I'd be happy to give anyone more information. Also, if you're thinking about moving here, we love helping people relocate and find their new home. We have a great team at Living TN with tons of resources. You can also email me at wade@livingtn.com. Again, this is Wade Price with Living TN Team, brokered by eXp Realty. We'll see you in the next video.